I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. Healthy people don't have more willpower. They just have better systems.
Balls deep.
Welcome to Balls Deep, a humorous yet informative medical show with a mission of optimizing your performance in the bedroom, the bathroom, and the boardroom. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Pizzona, a board-certified urologist and CEO of Pizzona MD. We hope you enjoy. Now, let's jump right in. Stream team, welcome to another episode of Balls Deep. Back with my lovely partner, Kat. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to do you a really big solid today, though. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. I'm wearing your favorite shoes.
Yeah, no, I hate those shoes.
Yes,
they're
he does,
awful,
but they're fabulous, and he knows nothing about fashion.
I don't, but something I do know something about.
What's that?
Women's health.
You do actually know a good bit about that.
So I thought in honor of, we've got Mother's Day coming up. May is Women's Health Month. Let's do a little episode here for the ladies and
I like that.
Guys listening in. I'm sure there is some woman in your life who means something to you. Your mom, aunt, partner, sister, daughter. There's someone out there who, could use some of these tips. So please go ahead and share this episode. And why don't we dive right in?
Let's do it.
Balls deep.
All right, Kat. So I thought we would get started. Let's give 10 actionable tips here for women and just kind of briefly go into them. We're not going to do deep dives. A lot of these things we've talked about in other episodes, but what's the first one you got up there on your list?
So first one on the top 10 tips for women. Number one, and this is something I struggle with, prioritize protein. You talk about this constantly, so I want you to give us the why. Once and for all, why is protein so important, especially for women?
Do you want to look younger and feel great?
Yes, absolutely.
Then prioritize your protein.
Okay.
It is that simple. And so here's why it's especially important for women. So first off, I would say just culturally and habits, women tend to eat lighter sort of things.
We do. We
right?
do salad, we do yogurt, we do fruit, but we don't end up chowing down on steak for lunch, chicken. We might put chicken on the salad, but yeah, I think that's fair. We're not as carnivorous as it were.
For the bros out there, right? It's easy for us to eat a steak or chicken breast, but I think for women, part of it is just the habits and the systems and the environment we're in, where it's easier. Well, let me just go visit and have a little, avocado toast.
You're doing a voice that I don't know. Is that me? We're visiting.
Let's just go have a pastry together with my girlfriends.
That sounds
and then,
good. That sounds good.
Let's get some apps. And, so it's too often that it's just not part of the habits, right? But health-wise, why does it matter in all seriousness? Mm-hmm. Well, first and foremost, women, for better or for worse, tend to be in better shape than men. And so as they age, they often are more prone to injuries and illnesses related to a weak skeletal system. So what does that mean? It means you fall and you get a hip fracture, right?
That's
means you are less mobile. And so everybody loses about 10% of their muscle mass and strength per decade of life once you're over the age of 40. So there's going to be a natural decline. And as men, because of testosterone, because we are bigger, we have more of a reserve. For women, your reserve is not that big. So to go from, I can do everything I want, to I'm literally feeble and have trouble getting out of a chair, it's not that far of a decline. So it is so essential that women keep on muscle. Well, how do you keep on muscle? You've got to put in the building block, which is protein. Okay. And then some of the vanity things, collagen. What is collagen? It keeps our face nice and pretty and shiny.
Our nails, our hair.
All protein.
Okay.
Right. And then lastly, when you prioritize protein, you tend to get more full and make it harder to put in, quote, the bad stuff like sugars. And we've talked before about the importance of metabolic health. And again, without doing a deep dive into it, the root cause of most of that is too many carbs. Now, I'm not saying carbs are bad. I'm just saying prioritize your proteins first, then mix in some healthy fats and healthy carbs, and you're going to be okay. But you got to get really intentional as a woman with that protein. You're going to feel better. It's going to better support your current looks and down the road protect you from frailty and falls and broken hips.
Okay, so really protein is number one.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
got it. Number two, this is something I was talking about with Dr. Fott, the pink pill. Addyi is the name of it, but the pink pill.
Yeah, if you guys haven't tuned into any of those episodes, please do. There is a women's Viagra. Now, Brooke talked about how it's not exactly like Viagra,
Correct.
but the idea of women want sex too. And that's normal.
Ooh, can we say that?
That's
Naughty.
normal. That's okay.
It's normal, but naughty.
And as the guy in the room, please, we want you to want sex also. We don't want to get annoyed when we're walking around with a friend below our belts
Wow.
going, hey, what are you doing right now?
Wow.
So you guys did a great deep dive into this, but Addyi, the libido pill for women, it's out there. We just want to keep building awareness.
It exists.
It's been around for a while. It's safe. Great episodes with you and Brooke diving in deep. I won't do it justice to even go over it. I just want people to know that there are pink pills and women want to enjoy sex. Let's help them out by finding a provider who can prescribe this.
They exist.
Yep.
Okay, number three, GLP-1s.
So Ozempic, Wegovy, we did an episode on this as well, that this is the name brand of the GLP-1 weight loss medications. And these meds are all the buzz, right?
They are. Everyone is talking about these in some form or fashion.
And as we addressed in a previous episode, but I want to make sure we reiterate, they are tools, but they are very effective tools. So if you are struggling to lose that mommy weight, okay?
5, 10, 15
Even a little bit,
pounds.
you don't necessarily have to wait till the insurance company okays it because, okay, now you're obese. Like, sure, let's just tolerate people being overweight, but if you don't meet our strict criteria, we won't approve our $1,000 a month medication. Like, just ridiculous. So there's plenty of clinics like Pizona MD where we use this as a tool along with a comprehensive plan to kickstart the weight loss. And listen, we need some easy wins. We need some things to build momentum because these medications work so well when they're prescribed in a responsible way. With some life-altering habits, you can get big, big results. So women, don't think you've got to tolerate that extra 5, 10 pounds. You can lose it, and this can be the key.
Okay, I like it. Number 4, checking your hormone levels. People are talking about this constantly. This is kind of the new catchphrase, hormone levels. Why are these so important, and what do they do for us?
Hormones are not just a buzzword.
Okay.
They're the secret to better sex, better energy, and weight loss. So women, if I haven't gotten your attention right
You
now.
have it now. We are listening.
I've got it, right?
We're listening.
Again, we did a beautiful episode. Dr. Dent Williams, your father, came on discussing
Please
hormones.
don't talk to my dad about sex. That's, no, wrong.
I'm sure if anyone in the room, your dad's talked more about sex than any of us.
Touche.
But he's an elegant, beautiful man. And the point being, as your dad brought up, as a gynecologist, there's so much misinformation about hormones, HRT in women, both before, during, and after menopause. But they're safe. Have a discussion, get your levels checked. These are so important. And I'll even throw in there, get your thyroid levels checked. That's probably the next level of hormones that often, starting in your 30s, going up to your 50s, a lot of women get thyroid hormone dysfunction. So there may be a really legitimate reason why you're tired, why your hair is thinning, why your metabolism seems to be slowing down, and you come to my office and go, I literally eat nothing and I'm putting weight on. Very likely there's a hormone that can be optimized. Go to someone who knows what they're talking about with this and get your levels checked.
Okay. Number 5. I like this one. I think this is maybe one of the hardest things for women to do. Schedule some me time. I don't think women want to take any time away from all of the other activities that they are in charge of. Most of those activities being caring for everyone else. A husband, a partner, children, parents, maybe even another sibling. Women are great caretakers, except when they're tasked with caring for themselves.
You said it better than I ever could. And the point I want to get across is, ladies, stop feeling guilty about me time. You have to schedule time for your health. Mm-hmm. You cannot care for other people if you don't care for yourself. You just cannot. You will have a limit. Now, that limit may come in at the cost of your relationship with your partner, the health or relationship with your kids, or just your damn sanity. You may just need to go and admit yourself somewhere because you've literally
lost your mind.
I'll go even further. You've lost your shit.
Okay. He went all the way.
You are at wit's end. You can't take it anymore. Mm-hmm. But yet you won't blink an eye to make sure your kid goes to his 18th soccer practice that week. Mm-hmm. But you want to feel guilty about going to the gym for 30 minutes? Stop it. Stop it. And all the men who are listening, all the children who are listening, give the woman in your life a break. Help support her. This is really important. We talked about our last episode with Dr. Dent. I don't think men especially appreciate the range of emotions that women go through just due to their hormones. Never mind the happy, cheery role they're supposed to play every day and keep composed while, their husband's off golfing on the weekends and their kids get to eat at Chick-fil-A every night and go to soccer practice. Mm-hmm. We've got to normalize scheduling time for your health, whether you're a man or a woman. But this is especially geared towards women because, like you said, it is in your nature to just give and care for everyone else. And before you know it, you can't care for anyone anymore because you've neglected yourself.
Skip one soccer game of the 627 soccer games and take a break. Take a break. Get some sleep. Move your body. Eat a healthy meal. It's okay. You can't be the best version of yourself unless you take care of yourself.
And I'll challenge it with, make sure when you do have that time that it's not always the glass of wine with the girlfriends or the brunch with 3 mimosas, right? Go for a walk. Go play tennis with someone that you care about. Do some things that you enjoy that move your body that are also healthy choices. Because unfortunately, when you treat the stress with things that aren't good for your body, in the moment it feels good, but you're just worsening it because then that night you're not going to get very good sleep because you had those couple extra cocktails, right?
It's a vicious cycle.
You're not going to move your body. And so you're going to continue down that spiral of not liking how you look. So yes, it is a vicious cycle, but again, it's just ingrained in our society. It's like, oh, I got free time. Let's go get some drinks. Like,
right.
We need to change that narrative and be like, oh, I got some free time. I'm going to go for a hike, get out in nature, reconnect, listen to a podcast, read a book, do things that are engaging your mind and your body in more healthful ways.
I like it. Okay. Number 6, this one kind of, girls, come on, stop tolerating bladder leakage. It's the year 2025. And I would venture a guess, I hear this from a lot of my friends, they're just living with this bladder leakage, even though, and most of them are aware that there are very simple, very effective, very easy procedures to help correct this. They're just living with it. Stop. Why?
Just as we've normalized obesity, unhealthy habits, we've normalized the just grab our new pad and slip it in and no one will even know you have it. Why are you reaching for the pad anyway?
Ooh, why do you want to wear that? Miserable. Stop.
We have minimally invasive, safe, effective treatments that have been around for decades.
So it's not new.
That can fix this forever. There is zero reason to tolerate this. Like, you take, in the time you could go visit a friend for lunch, you can literally drive yourself to my office, have a procedure called a Bulkamid with no cuts, no incisions, no downtime, with an 80% chance of fixing your leakage and zero downside. Let me say that once again. Over your lunch break, I can fix forever your bladder leakage so you never have to lift a pad again or change your underwear. And there's zero risk. I mean,
welcome back to coughing, laughing, jumping on the trampoline, jumping rope, doing an aerobics class. And then we can all stop talking about it. I mean, it's out there, and yet I'm constantly amazed that women will not go forward and have this irritation in their life changed.
and it's not that women are tough. Like
we're tough.
Y'all will stick needles like the size of my arm in your face if it means you're going to look a little bit younger.
Absolutely.
Lasers, peels, waxings.
We will do it all.
You'll do it all in the name of beauty.
But yet.
Right.
But yet.
Yes.
So girls, come on, get the lead out.
Yes, please.
Okay. Number 7. This is a very important one. Lift weights. You've got to do some weight-bearing exercise as part of your movement strategy, as part of your exercise routine to stay young, healthy, fit, and feeling good and keeping your body active and strong.
Strong is the new sexy.
Strong is the new hot.
Absolutely.
Love it.
But
Love it.
Separate from the vanity side and looks and the aesthetics, here's why it's essential for women to lift weights. Well, let's go back to our first part of prioritizing that protein. Protein's great, but it's just a building block. We have to stress the muscle to build it. And most women go, well, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to get too big.
I don't want to bulk up. I have heard this my entire life from women. I had a wonderful friend who she didn't want to step on the step for old time step aerobics. I'm that old because she was desperately afraid that her calves and her thighs would bulk up. I've known her for 30 years. Never happened. Never happened.
As a man with relatively healthy testosterone levels who is doing many things in his power to put on muscle, it's effing hard. Like it is really, really hard to put on muscle. Mm-hmm. So we have to separate again this aesthetic from function. And you can actually get stronger without getting bulkier. There's a difference between strength and what the gurus call muscle hypertrophy. Fancy doctor term for bigger muscles. Bulking, right? Mm-hmm. It is really damn hard, especially for a woman, to bulk up. But when you lift, you put on the muscle, you combine it with the protein, you're going to have a healthier look to you, from your skin to everything else. We talked about the importance of muscle and bone strength, especially as women get older, to prevent hip fractures and falls, to continue doing all the activities that you like doing. Mm-hmm. And again, believe it or not, the best way to lose weight is to lift weights. It is not doing more cardio. Okay. I
think for years we didn't know that. I mean, I think back to when I first really began exercising, it was cardio mania. Yeah. I do the step aerobics and high impact aerobics and all this stuff until we just almost dropped. But we didn't do a lot of weight training. And then in a few subsequent years, that really started to come into our understanding of how important the weight training was if we wanted to transform our look, but also to be strong and to have a really healthy body that worked for us. We had to do the weight training. And it could come in a variety of ways. You know, yoga, power vinyasa yoga, where you simply move your body weight through space, is also a very significant weight-bearing exercise.
Yeah, it certainly does not need to be heavy plate, deadlift, barbell squat, chest press, and pull downs.
And I think sometimes people don't understand that. They think, oh gosh, that's terrifying. I've got to get into a gym with these huge weights. I'm not strong enough to lift. It isn't really that when you talk about weight training.
No, and listen, for anyone who's going to start a weightlifting regimen, recommend doing it with a trainer. We did a great episode with Jeremy Hughes of Paragon Fitness, talks about the importance of form and progressive overload and doing that with a coach. And listen, I recommend everybody, if you've got the means, to go ahead and do that. But it does not mean bulking up. And really the best way you can lose that last extra 5-10 pounds is to boost up muscle, because muscle builds up your basal metabolic rate, aka you burn more calories just living life when you have more muscle. So it's actually easier to tone down. And if you're just doing cardio, you are burning down not only fat, but muscle.
But muscle too.
And so we have a lot of these people who end up being very frail, who are these endurance cardio people. Yes, they've maximized for heart health. They've maximized for cancer prevention. They're technically thin, great, but they get to a point and they're frail. I mean, they literally can't get up and move, never mind that their joints are shot from all the mileage they've put in. So key is, like everything, balance, but stop worrying about bulking. Trust me, it's not going to happen, but you've got to lift weights as a woman.
Okay. Number 8 is really important to me today because I didn't do this last night. Starting a sleep routine. Last night, I was invited to a wonderful lecture, which I went to and enjoyed very much, but I got home pretty late. And today, I'm a little sleepy.
You were past your
And
bedtime.
I
and
was
you're paying
way
for it.
past my bedtime by at least 3 hours, and I am paying for it today. So talk about starting a sleep routine and how important that really is. I don't think we give sleep enough credence.
Yeah, let's first talk about the second part of why it's important. Sleep is the linchpin for so many health things that are going to occur. If you don't get adequate sleep, you cannot build muscle. In fact, they've done studies showing that you actually put fat on with sleep deprivation and you don't build muscle because
I don't want to hear that.
all these key hormones are not released if you don't get enough sleep. When you are underslept, you make more impulsive food choices. Who's been tired and the next day gone, oh, I don't feel like cooking. Let's just get takeout. I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV. So then you don't move your body, you don't make good food choices. And so it's this sort of vicious cycle, whereas if you just set your day up for successful sleep, then all the other pillars of wellness are easier. Now, you don't need a sleeping pill, okay? A sleeping pill equals you're unconscious. That is not
That's not the
restorative
goal?
sleep.
Okay.
No, it is not. Now, if you really had a rough day and your husband's going to snore that night and you want to be out, sure. But no, in all seriousness, it's restorative sleep. So you don't need a pill. You just need a routine. Think again, ladies, about how obsessive you either currently are or were about your kid's sleep routine, or when you were a kid, it's bedtime. And then for some reason, we all just all of a sudden stop that and go, this crap ain't important anymore. And then we wonder why we're so sick, why we have no energy, why we're always stressed out. And yet we just stopped doing the fundamental thing that we taught our children was so damn important. And why do we do that? Well, if our kids didn't get good sleep, they were little a-holes the next day.
It's true. It's true.
Like
it's true.
Like, no, your ass is going to bed early tonight, son. Like that yesterday was rough, right? But nothing biologically changes as we age. And so sleep has to be non-negotiable. And sleep doesn't start at the moment you lay in bed. It starts from the moment you wake up. So that means getting early morning sunlight. That means exercising during the day. That means stopping caffeine before noon. That means 3 hours before bedtime, no food. 2 hours before bedtime, no drinky drink. 1 hour before bed at a minimum, turn off your damn device. So these are easy things that don't cost money that anybody can do. And I mean, we occasionally fall victim to it. We have countless acquaintances and friends who we know don't prioritize sleep, and it makes a big difference.
So many.
If you care about your health, sleep should be non-negotiable. If you don't care about your health, by all means, keep having that late night cocktail, keep scrolling on social media, because if you have shit sleep, you're going to have shit health. I can't say it any stronger than that.
I think I would double down on what you just said on one element that I think most of us know it, but we don't practice it. These screens, there are so many studies out there. My mom preached this for many, many years before it was really out there in the vernacular. about how these screens keep us awake. So if you are there in bed, slinging through the phone, it is going to be a minimum of 2 to 5 hours later that your brain will be able to turn off and allow you to go to sleep. So think about that. If it's 10 o'clock and you're at the phone, you've got the phone going, I mean, do the math.
Yeah,
You're not going
good.
to be able to go to sleep. And that also, I think, goes for, I am very guilty of television watching late at night, but I think the light from the television, computer, phones may be one of everyone's biggest sleep disruptor. So if we can do anything to help sleep in our routine, guys, let's think about those screens.
No, it's a big one. Bedrooms are for sleeping.
Two things.
And one
Leave
fun
it,
adult activity.
Leave it.
No,
walk
I'm not going to
away.
leave it.
He's
Come
a
on.
New Yorker, and he just is not.
No, I'm a man. That's all the
that.
guys were thinking it. Come on.
Okay.
All right, what do we got next?
Number 9, set up your environment for success, which seems commonsensical enough, but
Yeah, I mean, great segue from the sleep. We were talking about environment. And if your environment doesn't support healthy living, you're just swimming upstream. And so as a woman, here's the good news. You're probably dictating a lot of the environment in the house, right? Like you likely are doing the grocery shopping, except in our house.
wait, I'm grocery stores 9 times a week. I'm there.
But I'm giving you the list.
He does give you the list.
Exactly.
That's fair.
You're a great helper. But the what we're eating each week, right? It's the deciding the family schedule. You're kind of the chief of staff of the house, right?
Let's just call it what it is. We're the CEO of the household, and we are the king in charge.
Absolutely.
Ladies, right?
And so in that scenario, set yourself up for success, because guess what? If in your fridge are a bunch of frozen pizzas and there's Oreos in the pantry, what do you think you're going to grab when you're hungry and racing and stressed? If on the flip side, that is not in your house, and instead it's a couple of roast chickens that are cut up, bowls full of apples and bananas that are out, a pantry full of nuts. You always have eggs in your refrigerator. These are things that are not expensive. These are things that don't take hours or to prepare or a culinary degree. They're very simple, but if you don't keep the indulgences in your house, it's harder to succumb to those cravings, because I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. Healthy people don't have more willpower. They just have better systems. And one of the best systems you can do is setting your environment up for success.
I agree. The last one, I think, is a great one for women. Scheduling his vasectomy. Right?
This is one that people are like, wait, where's this coming from? Well, just hear me out here. If we think about the stress and the burden of birth control that falls on women, and I don't think we do enough as men. Think of, I got to go pick up the condoms. I've got to go to my OBGYN and get that IUD changed. This pill's driving me crazy, but I sure as heck don't want another baby. And then you look at sort of the failure rates of those things. I mean, how many women out there have missed a birth control pill, taken an antibiotic and didn't realize it made their birth control pill not work? Condoms break. The stress that causes women, whether they state it or not, is immense. Mm-hmm. And again, we don't judge on this show or at Pizzona MD whether you've got 0 kids or 9 kids. You do you. But that unexpected pregnancy, that +1, that one you weren't anticipating, whether you're going from 0 to 1 or 9 to 10, is incredibly stressful when you are not mentally like, okay, we're excited about this. And anyone who's been a parent of young kids know how exceedingly hard all of these things are when you've got a crying baby who wakes you up in the middle of the night and needs you 24/7. So listen, I'm a parent of 3 beautiful children. I've loved every minute of it, but I remember how hard it was to keep and stay healthy. And I probably wasn't that healthy while they were young. Now, as they're older, I can incorporate them in these activities. But you gotta secure your birth control and your contraception. And again, ladies, you hold all the trump cards. Like, no snippy, no nookie. Like that should be the new. I think that's our new
the
T-shirt,
new slogan,
right? Like, you control all the cards. And I've had plenty of guys when I see them in the office go, "Well, why are you here?" "Well, my wife said I can't touch her again until I get snipped." Sounds like a good plan. Like, again, if you guys are certain that another kid would be incredibly stressful. And again, every child is beautiful and a gift, blah, 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 blah. We're not talking about that. It's that one extra you weren't anticipating, and understanding the impact of every kid really makes prioritizing your health difficult. So that's our final tip for today is, ladies, schedule his vasectomy.
Yes. Take the onus off of you. It's been on us for far too long, and we're going to move that along to you.
Hey,
to you guys.
I'm all in favor. So Kat, in the interest of time, I think we will skip your favorite segments.
Okay, I'll live without it today.
And we're just going to ask you to watch this episode again, share it with a friend. Again, we appreciate, we've got a lot of guys listening to this show. Share it with a woman who's important in your life. Like, it's a couples thing. And sometimes a couple is a brother and a sister. It's an old friend from college. Like, we need to propagate health, because whether you like it or not, we're the sum total health-wise of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And you want to be around healthy people. Healthy people get more out of life and are going to help you reach your goals. And if you're sitting around with a bunch of people who are just not prioritizing this, it gets really hard. And we're going to dive into this in some upcoming episodes. So
sounds good to me. I think we did a great job.
All right. Love it. Well,
I paid attention today.
You did. Yeah. Well, you tell us if we did a great job. Please leave a comment, share this. As always, Stream Team, please show yourself a little bit more grace, love, and kindness. We're all works in progress, and these are opportunities to grow. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Balls Deep. If you'd like to join our Stream team of listeners, please click the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. For more information about our practice, Pazona MD, please visit pazonamd.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and the content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. The show does not constitute the practice of medicine. No doctor-patient relationship is formed through this podcast or any of the social media channels related to this show. The use of this information is at the user's own risk. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.